Well, folks, it's that time. Super Sunday's almost here, and this episode of Weekly Picks, we want to see who punched their ticket to the Big Easy. So that's what's coming up, folks. Well, man, we're here. It's the Super Sunday is almost here, and well, this past Sunday the championship games were, I don't know, a mixed bag. I guess is the best way to put it.
Mixed bag would probably be the right word to describe this. Yeah, definitely a mixed bag. It depends who you root for. So let's see how we did, right?
Yep. So let's see how we did. So let's count just conference championship games, and then by the conductor who punched their ticket to New Orleans. Well, let's find out. Let's go to the city of brotherly love. Up for a Philly cheesesteak, Keenan?
Oh yeah, you know I am. And let's just see how Washington handled in the brotherly love city.
Well, let's see here. It didn't really work out for the Commanders.
Yeah, 55-23 was the final score, and they, they just did not show up. Not being Washington.
Well, they showed up for the first 3.5 quarters, and then towards the end of the third, the Eagles, took over and never looked back. And it gets to another big day. This man right here, Saquon Barkley.
Saquon Barkley does it again. MVP candidate, I would say. No, no question. And yeah, what else can you say? I mean, you have the stats pulled up here.
I do. Yep, 15 carries for 118 yards and the hat trick, three rushing touchdowns. And what a way to share the moment with your girlfriend Anna and two children, Jada and Saquon Jr. as he's falling down from the financial field.
Yep. And I also want to give a shout out to Will Shipley. Who went to the same high school as we did, and who also went to Clemson, who got his first touchdown as a running back.
Yes, indeed. Yep. Mr. Will Shipley, young man right there, went to number 28. Yeah, he scored his first NFL touchdown, which officially games won in favor of the Eagles, but that put them over 50, which was the first time in NFC Championship game history that a team had done that.
Yep. Well, yeah, it's the most points by a team in the championship. So you are correct on that.
Mm.
And looking at a record so far, as we're doing it, one game at a time here. So you're looking at a 9-2 record, and I'm looking at an 8-3 record. So we shall see what happens next. So as for the Eagles, if you look at the left button of your screen, you know
Before I do,
what the drill is.
before I do that, we do have a few more game balls to hand out. So AJ Brown and the Eagles passing game also stepped up. 6 catches, 96 yards in the score, and Jalen Hurts went over 200 yards first time in the postseason. But a better time to do it. And as you can see, it's already like it's 2023 in the city of Berkeley Love. Hopefully this time they can bring the Lombardi Trophy. But as for now, Eagles fans, stay with me, or with us rather. Oh, yeah, that's right. Hip
I've
hip hooray.
I've I've really enjoyed that segment as part of the show, and it's been fun doing the hip hip arrays and it's been great.
Yeah, it is, and especially this time of year with the NFC Championship game. As for Washington, I mean, I don't think, like I said, no one saw this coming. I mean, winning 12 games and making all the way to the NFC Championship game with the rookie quarterback, and that's that. surpassed all expectations. There's no way to put it.
Yeah, most definitely. Definitely the most surprising team this season for sure. And it was a fun NFC East meeting for sure with Scooter Magruder.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I know he's in. Let's just say, for Cowboy Scooter was a tough. This was not an easy game to watch, and it's not going to get much easier. But I know where you're coming from, Scooter. More on that in a second. As for Commanders, yeah, again, made it close, but just couldn't stop the run, the Eagles' offense. And, oh, yeah, they also awarded the Eagles a touchdown after Mr. Frankie Lugu couldn't stay on the right side of the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. I mean, it was a nice try, but after a while, you got to stop doing it eventually. And the refs got involved. And the next thing I said was, "Come on, like let them figure it out themselves."
Yeah, because I never listened to some Westwood one, and he jumped off again, and I'm like, okay. And then the next thing you know, Iron Eagles saying, or no, the officials saying that they were awarding the Eagles a touchdown, and Iron Eagles doing the play-by-play with this as dumbfounded as I was. Like, I never heard that before, but sure enough, they got their touchdown, and that officially put the game out of reach. But having said all that,
Yeah,
Billy Madison, take it away.
that pretty much describes it for sure. And it's a tough pill to swallow, but it's still a great season for Washington. You know, I mean, there's only one way to go, and that's up from here. So, feel confident in Washington. It's just one of those days where you just can't figure it out, and that's okay. So,
Yeah, I see the future's bright for the Washington Commanders. Something they hadn't had in a long time. But just keep building. You know, doing one for each team to draft, and also keep your quarterback healthy. And he's got plenty of weapons, but you got to keep starting weapons as well. So getting
yeah,
Washington good season just came to an end. As for Philadelphia, congratulations.
sure. Yeah, for a rookie quarterback for Jaden Daniels, oh, man, just change the culture like that. It's pretty great. So, without further ado, let's let's go on the other side of the coin, and let's check out the AFC game.
Yep. So who are the Eagles going to play? Will it be the team from Orchard Park, New York, or Kansas City, Missouri? I hope it's got team from Orchard Park.
So I picked out the Kansas City Chiefs on my prediction last time, or last week rather. So yeah, we'll see what happens with this one. So without further ado, play the next slide.
You ask, you shall receive, and let's see who it is. It is Kansas City Chiefs.
Well, I was somewhat well. You were closer on the gap of the score in here. So, but you picked the correct team here. So,
Yeah, you picked the right one, Keenan, and I thought I had it. Thought I had the Super Bowl, and I thought my at least my AFC representative would get there. So
oh,
close.
and you got some things to say, Amir. So feel free. The floor is all yours. Feel free to vent. Starting now.
Well, floor's been all Kansas City's for I don't know the last 3 years because it seems like every we think can someone else get there? It's always them. Having said all that, Kansas Patrick Mahomes says he's best for last in the AFC Championship game. I mean, 244 yards passing and a touchdown, 11 rushes, 43 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So it's looking like the Patrick Mahomes of old. Then Xavier Wardy, who was drafted by the Chiefs to a trade with the Bills. Well, he had the night to remember, 6 catch, a buck 85 for 85 yards and a score. And oh yeah, Lamar Hunt Trophy is once again resigned in Kansas City because for the third year in a row, Chiefs hosted the trophy that was the namesake or late owner Lamar Hunt. So Kansas City once again another trip to the Krusty Krab. Or that's them. Yeah, as for Buffalo, oh man, I thought they had that first down, but the refs said otherwise. And before everyone says, "Hey, this conspiracy that the refs threw the game away," and all that, yada yada yada. I'm just gonna put it this way: I thought they had it. The refs really decide this game? Not really. They refs didn't decide this game. I'm just gonna let's be honest about that.
Well, talk about that one that one pass that was it a pass interference per se? Before that,
Oh, I mean the Dalton Kincaid drop.
yeah, the drop, yeah,
Well, I will say this: when I saw that graphic on the screen, I thought, okay, Bills have another chance, and then I find out there was some misinformation on CBS's part because they Jeanette said there is a flag down, but then I hear Tony Romo saying there's no flag to be seen. I'm like, I'm saying they're hope you're wrong, Tony. 'Cause I hope there's a flag, but there is no flag. Oh, oh man.
yeah. You gotta feel for Buffalo here. You really gotta feel for them. They had a shot to win this game, and all of a sudden, they two of the biggest calls of the game went Kansas City Chiefs' way, and look how it turned out, right?
Yeah, and I know I haven't said to myself that they didn't lose to the Rams in late in December. They might have had a better and the Chiefs maybe lost maybe one or two more games. It made a difference between the championship game we played in Orchard Park than Kansas City. And it's just so to show you, if you give a team home field, that's it's almost. I mean, it's not saying it can't be done, but the odds are not in the visiting team's favor for the most part.
Yeah. Let me just ask you this. We talked about this briefly. There's got to be a change when it comes to the playoff seeding. Sure. And also, let me bring this up real fast before I forget. Kansas City has won so many close games, and some some of them being controversial in the regular season. I can think of maybe two or three games off the top of my head. One being the Bengals game, and the, the and of course there's some luck to go with that as well with the upright field goal hit, for the win, and that's a few examples that I can think of. But that's the question at hand. There's got to be some changes, or comments rather. There's got to be some changes where they can change the playoff seeding. Would you agree with that?
Well, yeah, I can go back to what we discussed back in Wild Card Weekend. I, I would say they need to change some things in regards to that. And in this case here, the Chiefs. I mean, they had the better record, despite losing to Buffalo way back in November. So I don't think it's going to change. I can't change anything there other than just win as many games as possible in the regular season. That way, it can be interesting, playing wild card weekend or having the first round bye. Which when they got that first round bye, we should have known well. You know, there, that man, the chances of seeing that three-peat is starting to become reality because now they get basically 2 weeks off, and then they get home field throughout. And any chances of teams that need to get there, like say Buffalo or Baltimore, their chances got a lot tougher. And look what happened. They rode to Super Bowl, went to Kansas City, and now who's in the Super Bowl? It's not Bills Mafia, not no Ravens. It's gonna be Chiefs Kingdom.
Yeah. That's something to keep in mind going forward for the off season for sure. When it comes to the NFL standards. So I just wanted to throw it out there once again if anybody missed previous episodes um, from this. So with that being said, those are my thoughts on the game. And Congrats to the Chiefs. It's a little controversial, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it's WFAN. They posted the video, and I even had to chime in on it. They said it's teacher in the Super Bowl deal with it. It's like, thanks, you got to really rub the salt in the wound there. But then I comment saying, yeah, that sums up life as a fan in real life as well. It's just reality sucks, and well, and also I know one of the guys who tweeted this. This was after they clinched home field against Pittsburgh back on Christmas. The person said, Chiefs are winning the Super Bowl. The earlier, except the less it will hurt. I was like, well, it's I haven't. I mean, they haven't won it yet, but they're back there, and it's hard to accept. And it hurts because the team I had getting there came up 3 points in a fourth down short.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess you could say it is what it is. It's over. It sucks to see it turn out that way, but you got to face the facts sometimes.
Yep. And then as the graphic says for the Commanders, Bills, and just about every other team, better luck next time. But as Billy Madison would put it,
Yeah. So I mean, what else can you say, right? I mean, best to focus on the next one and get back to the drawing board, and it's gonna be a long off season if you're a Buffalo fan. I would say.
another long one indeed. It just feels like it's going to be their year, and it just seems like another instead of we're finally going to host the Lombardi Trophy. Now add another chapter of missed opportunity and heartbreak, which is unfortunately not just for the Bills, but to see it Buffalo. It's a very long list.
Yeah, and it happens in every other sport you can think of. The heartbreak, the controversy, and what what if what if this happened? What if that happened? I mean, it's the reality of sports sometimes, and you gotta face the facts and try to enjoy the best you can. And I'm gonna try to enjoy this game coming up soon, the best I can as a fan, NFL fan. So we'll see.
Yep. And speaking of, we'll see. Well, this is going to be a shorter episode, folks. So, as you can tell, Super Bowl is set in stone. As you can see here, the playoff bracket here. The big game taking place in the Big Easy in 2 weeks or 1 week from next Sunday. Between we will rematch of the one 2 years ago, which will happen to be on Fox between the Eagles and the Chiefs. So, having said all that, who will be partying on Bourbon Street Super Bowl Sunday? Keenan.
It comes down to two teams. We don't really need to look at the odds, right?
Well, I will say those odds are going to change between now and next in Super Bowl Sunday. So having said all that, come on. There we go. Let's get our predictions out the way right now.
Well, I've been thinking about this, and I like where the odds are actually. As to be honest, um, I have to say it. I'm gonna say it right here, right now. Uh, I'm gonna go back to some analyzation all the way back to episode one. Chiefs made it to the Super Bowl, and the Kansas City Chiefs are your Super Bowl 59 champions.
So you're going to have the Chiefs going three-peat. Okay, final score?
Oh gosh, the final score. Um, I for some reason I like your score from last week with the Bills and the Chiefs. So I'm going to say 27-24.
27-24. Okay. Well, I say the Eagles, they get it done again. Well, they get it done this time, rather. I mean, I will say as long as Nick Sirianni doesn't, I don't know, as long as he doesn't do what a lot of teams have done against the Chiefs, and also he's had the ire of Eagles fans and critics alike. But anywho, should be a good one. So I'm going to say Eagles 29, Chiefs 26. Should be maybe not quite as high scoring as the one we got 2 years ago, but the Super Bowl I expect it to be a one score game.
Yeah, agreed. One score game. I mean, it's so hard to predict these scores, right? Even though I got one right last week on the money,
Mm-hmm.
and unfortunately, I will not be able to go undefeated uh, uh, this entire year. So, and Amir has done that one time.
Yep, that was way back in October. But I will say this: you got to score right, which so happened to be the team that's going to be in the Super Bowl. And no, that should say Chiefs at Eagles. Yeah, okay. I think guess I caught wind of that. There we
What did it
go.
say before?
Mhm. It said
The
Commanders at
Bills?
the Eagles. No, it said
Oh,
Commanders at the
Commanders.
Eagles. I was like, wait a minute, Commanders are in the Super Bowl, but I think I picked up on that. Anywho,
Huh. Well, that wouldn't work because Commanders are in the same comp.
yeah. But getting back to the Chiefs, you got a final score correct, and it took to the playoffs to do it. But either way, you got one correct.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm going to bring this up in our recap NFL season coming up soon. I did have the Kansas City Chiefs making it all the way. Uh, I don't think what I don't think who I made a prediction of who was going to win it.
Yeah, I mean, I know you had the Chiefs and the Niners meeting again, and um, but either way, yeah, you got your Super Bowl representative correct, got the final score correct. Well, boy, that's what I got to say. I don't know what else needs to be said there.
Yeah, the only question is, will I get the Chiefs correct?
Well, Chiefs Kingdom says, I hope so, and I hope I'm saying, yeah, you sir, and the glasses here, we're trying to pick against us. Just remember that tweet you saw. Accept it now, the less it will hurt. Well, I'm a stubborn son of a gun. I'm sorry, Chiefs Kingdom. Look how I had Bills Lions. Look how that turned out. Instead of
Yeah,
that.
definitely not. Definitely not definitely not the outcome with the Lions for sure because they struggled as well. And well, back to this game at hand for sure. And we'll get to the recap, NFL recap soon. Like I said, I expect an interesting game. Saquon Barkley's going to do his thing. Jalen Hurts is going to do his thing. Uh, I mean, this is going to be the last time we'll talk about this until we do a recap.
Mhm.
But I'm excited for the festivities, halftime show.
What about the halftime show?
Are you excited for the festivities slash halftime show, Amir?
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. I'm definitely looking forward to that. The halftime show, festivities, and also just a lot of the storylines. With Saquon first Super Bowl. I mean, Andy Reid going against his former team again in the Super Bowl, and of course, yes, folks, Taylor Swift's going to be there amongst all the other big celebrities.
Yep, I'm excited for Kendrick Lamar. Being one of my favorite rappers. He's up there as one of my favorites. Celebrities are going to be there. I bet LeBron James is going to be there. If I just take a wild guess, you know,
Assuming the LA Lakers don't have a game that day, I think he'll be there.
yep. Clint Boyer, former NASCAR driver, is going to be there because he's a fan of the Chiefs, being from Kansas City, Missouri. So that makes sense.
Oh yeah, Eric Stone Street, Modern Family. I know he was a big Chiefs. He's a big Chiefs fan. And he reading up all the time. We are coming Rich Eisen show. Paul Rudd, Ant Man. I know he'll be there.
I about to take a guess. Will Smith because he's from Philadelphia.
Oh yeah, Will Smith. Yeah, that's a good one. I don't think who's celebrity Eagles fans. I can't think of one on the top of my head. Um, bummer. It's totally just went over my memory bank. Well, I know who will be there. Will be as a broadcaster, Tom Brady.
Tom Brady, commentating his first Super Bowl as a commentator, and along with Joe Burkhardt,
Kevin Burkhardt.
Kevin, Kevin, yep, Kevin Burkhardt, yeah.
And also maybe Tina Fey might be there, and Sylvester Stallone, Rocky himself.
Yep. So those are some good guesses. So I guess before we sign off here, we got to go off over these betting odds for our listening audience. So minus 125 if you're the Chiefs, plus 105 if you're the Eagles. That could change in the next few weeks here, or rather. So if you want to look up, just go to www.espnbet.com for the Super Bowl odds and in your search bar, and there you go.
Yep. Speaking of changes, before we sign off, there have been a few changes in the both head coaching and general manager vacancies, and let's just say Dallas has a new coach, better founder GM and head coach. Jacksonville, well, they got rid of their GM. They are going to call back a head coach and hire, and then Jeff Filler general manager vacancy. So we're going to start Big D with Brian Schottenheimer. What are your thoughts with that one?
No, no thoughts really. I don't know much about him really. With the coaching change on the offensive end, so um, no thoughts there. But it's going to be interesting how things turned out. For sure. I mean, we don't know because it's super early.
Well, yeah, I know Cowboy fans are kind of up in arms about this, like really Brian Schottenheimer. I mean, keep in mind his father was the late Marty Schottenheimer, who had a pretty successful coaching career. I I don't think nepotism played a factor in this though. He's been with the Cowboys for 3 seasons at this point. Last 2 seasons as the offensive coordinator. So there's that. So I'm gotta say, Brian, a long time coming. You've been in the NFL for a long time. The Jets, the Jags, I think also with the Chiefs as well. Indianapolis Colts, I'm reading that too. Yeah, and Kansas City Chiefs, if I was correct. So he's been doing offensive coordinator, assistant head coach, office assistant, what have you. And now he's get to be a head coach for the first time in his NFL career.
Well, that's something I did not know about. So there you go, folks. There's your facts of the day when it comes to the Dallas coaching, and I like seems to make sense, I guess.
Yeah, I know his offenses weren't like I think only one twice they finished in the top 10, which I know with Dallas that he did have a top 10 finish, with Prescott and Pollard and CD Lamb and company. Now, whether or not he's going to continue to be like offensive play caller there is remains to be seen. But either way, I just wish him the best.
Hmm. Most definitely, and we'll dive even deeper, during our review next week.
Mm, yes, indeed. The next on the list is guess look who's back in the NFL. Recognize this face right there?
That is Pete Carroll. That's a name I haven't said in about 3 to 4 years.
Well, it does feel like a long time since he last time was on a solid for an NFL team, but of course, after he left Seattle in 2023, took some time off, and now he's back in NFL with the Raiders. And Also, they had to get a new GM because they fired the previous one, Tom Telesco, and they hired John Spike Spytek. I hope I said that correctly. So Spytek. It's an interesting last name, I might add.
Yeah. Uh, as for Pete Carroll, um, I like it. I like it a lot. Young team. Looking for experience. So I mean, it's a good call, and I wonder what made Pete Carroll persuade to go to the Raiders.
Well, he's going to bring a lot of wisdom and experience, that's for sure, because that we hear it all the time. He hasn't. This person's never been a head coach. Well, I'm trying to think to myself. A lot of these guys that get hired to be head coach, they've never done it before. So it's like, what are you all expecting?
Yeah. Um, I would say this. Like, what if the Bears had a experienced head coach? What if the Panthers had a experienced head coach? Well, we'll never know that, really.
Well, we did. Well, Panthers did have an experienced head coach, Frank Reich, and look how that turned out. So it's not always a guarantee it's going to work out. That being
Yeah.
said, Pete Carroll, I mean, I think the hire made sense. And you look at the division, I mean, you got the Chiefs, who are again in the Super Bowl again. You got Jim Harbaugh and Sean Payton, I mean, or Andy Reid. So between all of them, you got three coaches who've had experience in the NFL. And oh, by the way, it's paying off in their um, head coaching stints. I mean, Andy Reid that speaks for itself. And then Jim Harbaugh and Sean Payton led teams to the playoffs. Now, I will say for Mr. Carroll and Mrs. Vitek, this Raiders team has got a lot of work ahead of it because, quarterback, don't know who's going to be the quarterback, don't have a receiver on that's the number one, don't have Josh Jacobs there. He's now with Green Bay. You have Max Crosby, but who else do you have on defense that's like say, yeah, we be on the lookout for that person. It's sufficient I need to point out there because Raiders teams this is a rebuilding year, so plus got a tough division and got work cut out for you. But I would be patient in Vegas if you get my drift.
Mhm. Yeah, agreed. And I would say it's a mixed bag of coaches. You got young coaches, and you got middle aged coaches, and you got older coaches. And I would say it's a mixed bag compared to the NBA. NBA coaches is getting younger. The game is changing over there, and I just think the way the NFL rules are sort of stayed the same, but sort of made some tweaks.
Yes, definitely. And getting back to Mr. John Spytek before I get to Mr. Uh, Jets general manager, he is we're gonna. Well, he's had a long career too. He was just with the Buccaneers for the better part of the last 8 years, going from director of player personnel to assistant general manager, and now he's general manager of the Raiders. And look right here, he's got two Super Bowls. One with remember the Broncos, they're a part of their scouting department, and then part of the Chiefs, not Chiefs, the Buccaneers on Super Bowl winning team just 4 years ago.
Hmm, that's interesting, and yeah, that's a good resume. Not most. It's a recent Super Bowl winner, so there's that.
Yep. Speaking of Tampa Bay, well, they not only lost one of their assistant GM, well, lost their assistant GM, but also lost their offensive coordinator, Liam Combs, who is now going to be the Jaguars' new head coach.
I like that. Because Liam did good things in Tampa Bay. Led his team to a playoff berth and was able to win some close games. Sure, so I like the new hiring.
Yep, Jacksonville likes it. Tampa Bay not so much because I do know he was. This was a very. The situation was very topsy turvy because they when Mitchell was interviewed, Trent Baalke was the GM, but then Trent Baalke's past kind of was the reason deciding factor why he didn't want to go there. That being Liam, and then what happened after that? Jaguars said we're gonna part ways with you, Mr. Baalke, and then in the midst of that, he was going to sign a contract with the Buccaneers, sitting with them, and then out of the blue, he does an interview with Jacksonville and says, "I'll take the job."
Hmm. Yep. So I agree on that one. Sure. So I agree. I like it. I mean, it's January 29th as we're recording this, and a lot can change the next 2 months.
Oh yeah, because at the moment, again, Jacksonville does not have a GM, and also the Saints they're looking to fill their head coaching vacancy because it doesn't look like they haven't named Aaron Rizzi their full-time head coach, and they're interviewing coaches as we speak. Joe Brady was in the running for that, but he said no, thank you. He's Bill's offensive coordinator, and also one thing to mention: Matt Eberflus, former Bears head coach, he's going to be the defensive coordinator in Dallas. But back to Jacksonville, and their offense is it's definitely they got playmakers on there. I mean, Ryan Thomas, who just made the Pro Bowl, Travis Etienne, and Trevor Lawrence went healthy. So and Evan Ingram, who made a Pro Bowl just 2 seasons earlier. So they got the they got the offensive talent there. It's just how can you put it all together there to make them get them back to where they were in 2022.
Yeah, it's the Jacksonville Jaguars, excuse me, did some good things, and I was looking at this earlier. Back to the Raiders real fast. The Raiders made it not too long ago as well. I want to say 2021.
Yep, 2021.
So back to Pete Carroll, you know, could they be a wild card? Could they be a playoff seeding contender with that experience?
Well, I was like I said, it's gonna be they got work cut out for them. I mean, they division's pretty very tough. They sent 3 teams to the playoffs, that being the AFC West. So there could be surprises that this coming season. As for Jacksonville, I mean, it's not like their division is. I say it's a little easier. I mean, like they won it just 3 seasons earlier. So again, I just feel like Trevor Lawrence's health is going to be the main factor there because again, I think that's part of the reason why they tailed off the last 2 seasons due to his
Yeah,
offensive play.
yeah. That's a good factor too with Trevor Lawrence and his health status. And he took a big hit against Houston not too long ago as well, and
Mm-hmm.
we all saw how that turned out. And yeah, I mean, I like it. I like what I'm seeing right now. I mean, it makes sense. So there's no way to add on to that.
No, I would agree with that. And then one more thing before we sign off, the Jets have filled their general manager vacancy because during the season, Joe Douglas he was let go, uh, so they were out of GM for the rest of the 2024 season. So they hired now a week after they hired Aaron Glenn, they hired Darren. I hope I say this right, Mooney or Mungie. It's spelled Mouge. So excuse me, I butchered the name, sir. But either way, I he's gonna be their new GM. So your thoughts on that one?
Um, no thoughts, kind of like what I with the Dallas situation. Um, and that being the Jets, right?
Yes.
Well, it depends on Aaron Rodgers' situation. If he comes back or not. Um, still pretty, still pretty, still pretty young. With the off season here, and with the season not being over quite yet. But hard to tell, but I mean, I like it right now. But as the months go by, we'll see. We'll see what.
Yeah, and then getting back to Darren, I know he, like John, he was on the Broncos staff that won the Super Bowl in Super Bowl 50, so he's got experience there, and he's also been part of the Broncos front office from 2012 to 2024. So of course he helped the guy help him draft Bo Nix and get that team to the playoffs first time since Super Bowl 50, and also signed Peyton Manning as well. So he's been he's part of that team, part of that team. So he's known what it's like to be around the winner. You know, Jets, they hadn't had a winning team in, well, or playoff team in now 14 years, and hopefully it's the hiring of him and Darren when they can change that culture there, because they just, it's like they think it'd be the year of finally in that drought, and then it doesn't happen, and it's the same old story over and over again. Same old Jets, just end the suffering, just enjoy the suffering, what have you. And like you mentioned before, the main thing it's going to, well, I say two things: is Aaron Rodgers going to come back, and can Woody Johnson, their owner, allow um, Aaron and Darren to build a team that will make the Jets a contender?
Yeah, I agree. That's a nice pick me up right there. So good good analysis, sure, but yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's only January 29th, and still got a long way to go. We're 2 weeks, or excuse me, week and a half away from the Super Bowl, and after that, off season begins, and we'll see what happens.
Definitely. So having said all that, that concludes this week of Doubleheader Weekly Picks. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Give us a like, hit the subscribe button, follow us on social media, LIX, Instagram, and Spotify. And as usual, Super Bowl's in 2 weeks. So in that case, enjoy the Pro Bowl games. If you're interested in that. And also keep an eye on those betting odds, because, like you said, they're going to change between now and Super Bowl Sunday. So having said all that, enjoy the rest of the week, folks. This is Amir Daniels and Keenan Gossane, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Yep, and like we always say, have a good one. Enjoy the Pro Bowl and enjoy the Super Bowl as well.
Definitely.